Accel Ecommerce and the art of building a website that looks like you mean business. The website is often the first handshake a business gives to the world. Before a phone call, before a referral, before a single product ships, a visitor lands on a page and makes a judgment call in seconds. Accel Ecommerce, a full-service digital agency based in Woodinville, Washington, has built its practice around the belief that first impression is too important to leave to chance. Accel Ecommerce continues to focus on helping businesses create professional online stores through thoughtful planning, clean design, organized structure, and ongoing support, the company says. It is a quiet but precise statement, and it captures something that gets overlooked in the noise of digital marketing: the difference between a website that exists and a website that works. The agency counts itself among the more decorated in its industry, working with some of the largest brands in the world while still taking on clients who are building their first online store. What ties those experiences together is a consistent set of principles about what a professional e-commerce website should look and feel like. Those principles are not abstract. They show up in layouts that breathe, product categories a customer can actually find, and graphics that do not undermine the product they are supposed to represent. Accel Ecommerce treats these as foundational, not cosmetic. The company's work spans businesses at different stages, from stores being built for the first time to established operations whose websites have quietly grown harder to navigate over the years. In both cases, the diagnosis tends to be the same: the structure needed attention before anything else could be properly addressed. How Accel Ecommerce approaches clean layouts and clear navigation. Walk into a well-organized store and the logic of it hits you right away. Products are grouped. Signage is readable. Nothing is stacked on the floor in a way that makes you wonder whether the place is open. A professional e-commerce website operates on exactly the same logic, and clean layout is where it all begins. Accel Ecommerce describes this as a core part of what it helps clients think through, including organized product categories, clear navigation, professional branding, and an easier way for visitors to understand the business. The sequence there is not accidental. Organization precedes navigation. Structure precedes brand. None of it works if the bones are wrong. A clean layout is not simply white space and minimalism, though both can contribute to it. It is a deliberate decision about what information lives where, how much the eye needs to process at once, and whether the visitor can move through the site without stopping to think about how to move through the site. Navigation that requires effort is navigation that has already failed. The homepage carries a particular weight in that structure. It is not a splash page or a company biography. It is a map. A thoughtfully designed homepage orients the visitor. Here is what we sell, here is where to go, here is what makes this business worth your time. Accel Ecommerce considers homepage design a distinct discipline within the broader work of building a site, one that requires its own planning and attention before a single product page is touched. Get the homepage wrong and the rest of the site is fighting an uphill battle from the very first click. Consistent branding makes the site feel like one business. There is a version of an e-commerce website that looks like it was assembled by 4 different people who never spoke to each other. The color on the banner has no relationship to the color on the product pages. The logo appears in 3 different sizes with no apparent logic. Buttons styled one way on the homepage look entirely different in the cart. Visitors notice this, even if they cannot name it. It reads as careless, and carelessness is not a quality that inspires confidence in a business someone has never heard of before. Consistent branding is the corrective. It is not about aesthetics for their own sake. It is about coherence. A site where the logo, color palette, button styles, and typography behave the same way across every page communicates something about the business behind it. That someone is paying attention. More than that, it tells a visitor that the business has a clear sense of its own identity, and that clarity tends to travel into every interaction a customer has with the brand. Accel Ecommerce's creative services are built to address exactly this. The team works with elements including logo design, custom color palettes, font selection, homepage banners, category graphics, buttons, page design, blog design, and content organization. Taken together, these are not decorative decisions. They are the raw material of a recognizable, trustworthy online identity. The challenge is maintaining that consistency across an entire site, not just the pages a client notices first. A product detail page that breaks from the established visual language of the rest of the site is a small fracture. Enough of them and the site feels fragmented. Accel Ecommerce frames ongoing consistency as part of the work, not a finish line that gets crossed and forgotten. A store that looks like a single, unified business from the homepage down to the checkout page is a store that has done the hard work. Professional graphics and readable typography as functional tools. A photograph that is too small to read. A banner image stretched into blur. A product shot against a background that makes the item harder to see, not easier. These are not minor annoyances. They are obstacles between a business and the customer it is trying to reach. Professional graphics serve a functional purpose on an e-commerce website. They clarify, they reinforce the identity of the brand. They give the visitor a reason to stay on the page long enough to make a decision. A category page populated with clean, well-lit product images reads differently than one built on inconsistent photos taken under different lighting conditions. The product may be identical, but the impression is not. Typography works alongside graphics, not beneath them. Readable fonts in appropriate sizes and weights reduce friction in a way that rarely gets credited. A visitor who breezes through a product description without stumbling is not thinking about the font. That is the point. When type is chosen well, it disappears into the reading experience. When it is chosen poorly, it becomes the experience, and not in a good way. Accel Ecommerce identifies these as elements that contribute to a polished, well-organized site. The company's creative services are shaped by current website standards, changing customer expectations, and direct client feedback, a framing that treats design not as personal preference but as something with actual stakes for the business presenting itself online. A business that sells quality products deserves visual presentation that communicates quality without the customer consciously registering why they feel that way. The Accel Ecommerce view of a user-friendly shopping experience. A professional e-commerce website is, at its core, a place where someone should be able to find a product and understand it without asking for help. That sounds simple, but it is not. The shopping experience encompasses the entire path a customer takes through a site: how products are categorized, how individual product pages are laid out, how clearly pricing and options are presented, how easily someone can move from browsing to cart without losing their place. Every point in that path is somewhere things can go wrong quietly, in ways the business owner may never see. And unlike a physical store where a staff member can redirect a confused customer, a website has to do that work entirely on its own. Accel Ecommerce describes the user-friendly shopping experience as one of the defining characteristics of a professional site. These elements do not operate in isolation. A well-designed product page inside a chaotic site structure is still a bad experience. A clean homepage connected to confusing category pages sends a mixed signal. The whole has to hold together. The goal, as Accel Ecommerce frames it, is coherence across the whole site. A website is not a document that gets filed away. It is a living environment, and maintaining it, updating it, and keeping it consistent as a business grows is its own form of professional discipline. Clients who treat the launch as the end of the project often find themselves back at the beginning sooner than expected. The company's broader service model reflects a belief that the website is a starting point, not a delivery. A business that understands its own site, knows how it is organized, and can walk a customer through it with confidence is a business that has something genuinely worth presenting. The owner who can explain their store clearly is the one who built it on a clear foundation. That confidence does not come from the website alone. It comes from the work behind it,